Elect March 25th, 2026, regular meetings of the Big Bear Area Regional Wastewater Agency meeting to order at 5 p.m. I'd like to have everybody please stand, and I will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me in honoring our flag. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, I would like to get an approval for the agenda. Could I please have a motion and a second to approve the agenda?
I'll make a motion. I'll second it.
Thank you. And roll call, please.
Chair Segovia.
Aye.
Vice Chair Walsh.
Aye.
Director Russo.
Aye.
And Director Sauer.
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to public forum. Public testimony is permitted at this time on the following sections of the agenda: presentation and introduction, information, committee reports, consent calendar, and any other matters within the agency's subject matter jurisdiction that are not included on the posted agenda. Do we have any public comment cards?
Mr. Keller.
Thank you. My name is Gary Keller. I live in Big Bear City. I'd just like to comment on the Replenish Big Bear project. Some of my comments I've made before, but I didn't make it again. But first of all, I want to ask Dave a question. I don't know if you have the number right in front of you, but I had at these meetings, I don't think I've ever heard the annual cost per acre feet of the, what the final effluent is. It takes in the capital cost plus the O&M. And normally with these type projects, there is an estimate of the annual cost. Do you have that, or is it something different?
There is a presentation on the website that goes over the past evaluations of that. I don't know that it's been updated in a while, but so I don't think it's been updated in a little bit since like the new costs, those kind of things, but it's been a little while, but it's not something that's hard to figure out.
All right, yes, I know. In most projects, it's usually out there, and I know water treatment systems, you get an annual cost because the full surface treatment, it used to be about 2,000 per acre foot, and now it's probably double that. But I'm just assuming that it's quite high, and that what that number is.
Yeah, I mean, the last time it was calculated, it was like 25, I think it was like $2,500 an acre foot.
2,500.
That was the last time I remember it being calculated, but like I said, it's been a while.
And the reason why I ask that is just, we live in California, we have a lot of coastline, we have a big ocean out there, and there's very few desalination treatment systems on the coast. And the reason why, and they're only removing one thing, it's salt, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because it's not cost effective. It's too expensive, and every other lower cost alternative before they get the desalination. There are areas that Israel does it because they're, they have no other choice. But that's only desalination, and it's very costly. Another point I want to bring up as far as this expensive water is going to be probably dumped in Big Bear Lake, be stored. And we know that Big Bear Lake evaporates about 3.5 feet a year on average. And I don't know if we have any assurance that MWD would not say, well, your water evaporated, sorry, unless there's some sort of agreement. And so that's another point. I would hate to see us spend that much money on water that would be evaporated. When I move for those. Anyway, I got another list, but I think I've presented it before, but I just want to say it's just, I don't think Valley can control this. Maybe the best thing to do is, I know it's cumbersome to try to form your own agency so we can vote on it. But, yeah, I'm ready to do this JPA. But, sounds like money's no object anyway. As far as the project's going. So, anyway.
Thank you, Gary.
Mr. Goldbranson,
Oh, okay.
There you
Can't tell me people can't get along. Teddy and I are having nice debates. If anybody wants to leave their email, I'll send you a email on it, a link. We're dead opposites, but yet we can agree on the ad hoc and numerous other things, which is amazing. I find it amazing. I never thought. But I'm going to talk about the corruption of this state and the boondoggles they're trying to push. I've known about the plastic since the 70s. I used to have a glass company and we used to buy $250,000 worth of polycarbonate Lexan from GE at a time because I did a lot of Catholic churches that covered their windows with Lexan. And then the crap turned, stuff turned, sorry, I told you to bring the swear jar. And they said it was guaranteed. And so after a year, they said, well, sue us and we'll look into it. And that's basically what Thereto does. They have all these attorneys. We want voluntary compliance as the BBK. And some of these people don't care about that. But the corruption of this state doesn't end. And I'm talking about also to redo this plant here for different things. We have the governor's wife doing corruption. She should be thrown out using the governor for her dirty gender project, getting $20 million using our system in the state, the schools, the publishers even. We get boondoggles like the bridge, $110 million, and it's not even, it might be maybe halfway done. They just need ramps and more bridge on the other road that goes across. So that's going to be another train or bridge to nowhere. And the list goes on and on. It's just amazing to me. I mean, I stopped trusting the government when they said margarine is better for you than butter. It's just one nonsense lie after another. And right now they're using it to fleece our tax dollars. When they can give $100 million to Planned Parenthood, $75 million to fight Trump for illegal aliens, and another gender thing, sanctuary. That's why I don't trust this project. I don't trust them as far as I can throw them.
Thank you, Dan. All right, no more public comment? Anybody else? All right, moving on to presentation and introductions, of which we have none. Item number 6, information and committee reports. General manager's report. David.
I just wanted to highlight the RAS header replacement project. We had a job walk yesterday. Probably had 10 different contractors show up, about 20 people. So it's it obviously got out to inform all the contractors what kind of projects we had. We have several local guys that are looking at the project, and we're expecting good bids coming in for it. So we're excited about that project. So that's the only thing I have would like to highlight in the general manager report, but I'm open for any questions the board may have.
Anybody, any questions on that at the moment? No? All right. Okay, moving on to Replenish figure report. David?
So again, not a whole lot to highlight, not a lot new at this moment. But we are going to have a special workshop meeting on April 27th at 9 a.m. And we're going to bring back a few items. One of the items that Commissioner Herrick asked us to bring back, which was about the production water and divvying up the actual water itself. And there'll be a couple of other items that we'll include in that special workshop. And then we probably will have several of them just to kind of address different issues over time. So, but the first one is April 27th at 9 a.m. And we look forward to that meeting. Are there any questions?
Any questions? I know I'm looking forward to that workshop,
Yeah.
and I encourage any public to come to that so you can get good information. Okay. All right, moving on to consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar will be enacted by one motion at the appropriate time. There will be no separate discussion of these items. If a detailed discussion is necessary, any governing board member may request that an item be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately. They are listed on the agenda for reference. And are there any items that any board member would like to remove from the calendar? No? Okay. Could I have a motion and a second to move the consent calendar?
I move. I'll second it.
Okay, roll call, please.
Director Herrick,
Aye.
Director Sauer,
Aye.
Vice Chair Walsh,
Aye.
Chair Segovia,
Aye.
and Director Russo.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to old business. Public hearing, second read and adoption of ordinance number O.02-2026. Bridget.
The proposed amendment updates this ordinance to align with state law by specifying that residential connection fees are due at final inspection or the issuance of certificate of occupancy unless paid earlier at the applicant's election, and that non-residential connection fees are due at the time of application. This is the second read, and staff recommend waiving before reading and adopting the ordinance.
All right. Any board questions on this? No? All right, I would like to open the public hearing at 5:13. Do any members of the public wish to speak on this item? No? I will close the public hearing at 5:15. And I will read this motion and second to waive the full reading by title only and adopting ordinance number O.02-2026 and ordinance of the Big Bear Area Regional Wastewater Agency amending ordinance number O.02-2018 regarding the timing of payment for connection fees. Any board discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
I need a motion in a second.
Oh, could I have a motion, please?
I'll move the item.
I'll second it.
Vice Chair Walsh,
Aye.
Director Herrick,
Aye.
Director Sauer,
Aye.
Chair Segovia,
Aye.
and Director Russo.
Aye.
Okay. New business. Item A, resolution number R.03-2026, a resolution of the governing board of the Big Bear Area Regional Wastewater Agency, clarifying the fiscal year 2027 sewer standby or immediate availability charges. Christine.
Thank you. Annually, the governing board clarifies and confirms standby fees for the upcoming fiscal year. Standby fees for fiscal year 2027 remain unchanged from the previous fiscal year. We recommend that the governing board adopt resolution number R.03-2026, clarifying the fiscal year 2027 sewer standby charges. And I'd be happy to answer any questions of the board.
Any questions? It's nice that the fees are remaining the same. I would like to say. All right. So moving on, to public comment. Any public comment on this item? All right. Could I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R.03-2026?
I'll move it. I'll second
Okay, any discussion from the board? Okay, roll call, please.
Chair Segovia,
Aye.
Director Russo,
it. Aye.
Vice Chair Walsh,
Aye.
Director Herrick,
Aye.
and Director Sauer.
Aye.
All right, thank you. We will have a public hearing on resolution number R.04-2026, a resolution of the governing board of the Big Bear Area Regional Wastewater Agency amending the sewer user charge subject to annual review and taking certain other actions related thereto. Christine.
Thank you. The proposed rate structure was presented to the governing board at the February 24th budget workshop. The annual increases are consistent with the rates approved by the governing board in March of 2025. We recommend the governing board adopt resolution number R.04-2026, establishing sewer user charges for fiscal year 27 through 31, subject to annual review, in which time the governing board may affirm or amend the stated rates. Adoption of this requires a four-fifths vote. I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have regarding this item.
All right, any board questions? No? Okay, I will open the public hearing at 5:16. Do we have any public comment on this item? No, seeing none, I will close the public comment here, close the hearing at 5:16. And a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R.04-2026. I will move the item.
Second.
Any additional board discussion? Okay, roll call, please.
Director Herrick,
Aye.
Vice Chair Walsh,
Aye.
Director Sauer,
Aye.
Director Russo,
Aye.
and Chair Segovia.
Aye. Okay, thank you. And moving on to a resolution number R.05-2026, a resolution of the governing board of the Big Bear Area Regional Wastewater Agency to increase the fee schedule for the disposal of waste delivered to the regional treatment plant subject to annual review. Christine.
Thank you. Waste disposal fees are charged for the disposal of sewage at the treatment plant by pumping companies and account for approximately $26,000 in revenues annually to the agency. The increase in waste disposal fees is directly related to an increase in operational and maintenance costs associated with the disposal of sewage. We recommend the governing board adopt resolution 05-2026, and I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have.
All right, do we have questions on this item?
The fees are based on actual costs, right?
Yes.
We're not making a profit, we're simply covering costs. Okay, so
It's not, we're not allowed to make profit.
All right. I will open the public hearing at 5:18. And Mr. Gilgranson.
I'm getting to the point where I'm against any fees being raised. Not only here, but like DWE, where they rush through to get that building going. When there's other problems that they have with tanks and possible things. And everybody wants to just raise fees. They even want to go from bi-monthly to every month. And it's getting to the point to where it's getting overwhelming for people. When we had the hottest winter in 33 years that I've been here, and my electric bill's $850 one month, $769 another month. They're tearing it up because our government wants us not to use as much electricity. They're forcing people to get to a certain amount by charging them, and then with the other paperwork I get where they let people just go on to get money, credits. They don't have to prove anything. It's like the food banks. You can go in with $100,000 car and go from food bank to food bank. And I watched that down in Marietta one time. I was shocked. The abuse of it, but that's all we get is abuses from our government. Our government is supposed to be in control of things. For example, the homeless thing. Step number 7, but they don't want to look at the first 6 steps of corruption. And that's all we're getting. Our government is supposed to protect our tax money, not just keep getting grants. That's still our tax money, one way or another. And this state is, I hope soon, going to foreclosure or taken over. And it's coming. It's everything. And it just doesn't end. From end of life, hospice, the criminality. We're 100 times worse than Minnesota. You know, and we got some of the same pirates here. It's all corruption. And it's you people here should be liable for it because I can't even get to redress some of our people. It's very simple. And that's why I'm using this TV thing and plus other ways. We have to have our government be responsible for things and not just give out a letter supporting something without them at least investigating it. And it's getting to a point that it's getting out of control.
Thank you, Dan.
You're welcome.
No other public comment on this item? I will close the public hearing at 5:22. And could I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R05-2026?
I'll move.
I'll second. Roll call, please.
Director Sauer,
Aye.
Director Herrick,
Aye.
Chair Segovia,
Aye.
Vice Chair Walsh,
Aye.
and Director Russo.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to a public hearing for resolution number R06-2026, a resolution of the governing board of the Big Bear Area Regional Wastewater Agency adopting the operating and capital budget of the Big Bear Area Regional Wastewater Agency for the fiscal year 2027, approving budgeted projects and finding approval of the budget and budgeted projects exempt from review under the California Environmental Quality Act. Christine.
Thank you. The fiscal year 27 budget and 5-year forecast were presented to the governing board at the February 24th budget workshop. There have been no changes to the proposed budget since that workshop. We recommend the governing board adopt resolution 06-2026, adopting the operating and capital budget for fiscal year 27 and finding the approval of the budget and budgeted projects exempt from review under CEQA. Adoption of this item requires a 4/5 vote, and I'd be happy to answer any questions the board may have regarding this item.
Thank you. Board questions? No?
Questions?
Okay. I would like to open the public hearing at 5:24. Public comment.
No, but I can if you want.
He said nobody told him else. Okay, seeing none, I will close the public hearing at 5:24. And I would look for a motion and a second to adopt resolution number R06-2026 and the budget and direct staff to file the notice of exemption.
So move. 1 second.
Okay. And is there any additional board discussion? No? Okay, roll call, please.
Director Russo,
Aye.
Vice Chair Walsh,
Aye.
Chair Segovia,
Aye.
Director Herrick,
Aye.
and Director Sauer.
Aye.
Okay, moving on to governing board committee appointments. Bridget.
So we have 3 permanent committees, and descriptions of each of those committees were provided in the staff report. Currently, Chair Segovia and Vice Chair Walsh sit on the Administrative Committee. Directors Herrick and Sowers sit on the Finance Committee, and Directors Russo and Sowers sit on the Operations Committee. The board may choose to keep these committee assignments the same or nominate new members to each. If the board chooses to appoint new members, each committee will go through a separate nomination and vote.
Okay, thank you. Are there any questions from the board on this? Okay, any public comment? No? Okay, I will bring it back to the board. Are we, no nominations? Are we okay keeping things the same? I'm seeing nodding heads. Okay. All right.
So we'll need a motion in a second to keep the committees the same.
Make that motion.
I have a second. Okay, roll call, please.
Vice Chair Walsh,
Aye.
Director Sauer,
Aye.
Director Russo,
Aye.
Director Herrick,
Aye.
and Chair Segovia.
Aye. Okay, moving on to Replenish Big Bear Advisory Committee appointments. Bridget.
So this board was created in 2023, and its purpose is to advise staff on Replenish Big Bear decisions and to accompany the general manager to stakeholder meetings when needed. Currently, Chair Segovia and Vice Chair Walsh sit on this committee. Appointments to this committee are made by the chair, and the chair may choose to keep the members the same or appoint new members. And they also may establish a predetermined date for the dissolution of this committee.
Okay, do we have any board questions on this? No? All right. Any public comment? Okay, Judy?
Judy Fowler, Big Bear City. I really like both of you, that committee. I would be impressed, what you have to say. So thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Okay, I would like to keep the committee as it is.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to governing board reorganization. Bridget.
Following the February meeting, the agency received correspondence from CSD requesting that this item be reconsidered. The officer election has reflected a mix of rotation and continuity among the member agencies based on eligibility, consensus, and availability. The staff report highlights periods of continuity as well as several years where one agency simultaneously held more than one officer position. The board may choose to rescind these election results. If the prior election is rescinded, the chair and vice chair positions will be deemed vacant, and I will walk the board through the election process. And we will need 3 votes to rescind the prior election.
Okay, do we have any board questions on this item?
Questions or comments?
Okay, Larry?
I think most people, unless they slept through their history and politics classes in high school, remembers that FDR was the only president in the history of the nation to be elected to 4 terms. And had he not died, he would have served for 16 years.
I didn't know that actually.
But after his death, even people in his own party advocated for the prohibition of ever letting anyone maintain control for that long. They advocated for new eyes, new opinions, new ideas. And that's where I'm coming from. I backtracked through the officers through 2019. I couldn't go back further than that. Bridget sent out the information saying that 7 times in the history of the agency, at least in recent 26 years, people in position of chair or vice chair have gone for more than 1 term. The last time was in 2013, and that was the same person served for 3 terms. Before that was another 5 years, and that person served for 4 terms. I would think it behooves the agency to have fresh blood each time and not make a habit of when periodically keeping a tight grip on who serves in what capacity. So I would like to see it change in some kind of regular pattern. So that we know each time, not necessarily who is going to serve, unless of course it's a one person position representative, but that I don't know what agencies are going to supply the officers. And that's why I brought it up.
All right, anybody else from the board? Okay, any public comment on this item?
I was trying to listen to your last word. Did you say you're going to retire or not? From that committee? After so many terms? No, then you're fired. I was just trying to figure out what's your main point on that?
Last time around, we didn't change as, am I not supposed to respond?
Oh, go ahead. I'm not gonna.
Let him finish. It's public comment now.
So no, you can't.
You shouldn't.
You know, I do it just to trigger people. I have my Trump 2028 because it's easy to get people to get triggered about numerous things with TDS. And you're right. There should be change. There's been some people that just go on forever and it gets to be groupthink because they tend to pick people that agree with them. It's very seldom, and I'll agree that I am like the iceberg in hell. I don't have a chance in hell to get on some of these committees. But this is what's happening in Sacramento and why we have the corruption in Sacramento. Because it's everybody's hooked to the money wagon and the power that it gives them. And there's got to be a point to where our government leaders have to make a decision and not just sign some letter. Oh, there's still money there, but there's corruption all the way to the backside, and it's common knowledge. That's the problem. Rick Shirley is 23 years old, and he's bringing out more than any of the damn media. And yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm going to agree with term limits. The state of California tried to do it to the federal. They can't because they can't override the Constitution. And but I'll tell you, there's some people in the Senate and House that need to get out because change is good. And you're right, you need some new thinking. But you're always a new thinker, Larry. You always come up with things to give me a hard time about. Don't cuss. Okay. But you didn't bring the cuss jar. So next time. But it's the government's responsibility to think about the taxpayer getting fleeced. You know, it's tiring. And I'm the only one that stands up and says something. And it's just getting to the point that people are not being able to afford life. And we're all going to be running around.
Thank you, Dan.
Destitute.
Okay, moving on. Is there a motion and a second to rescind the prior election? Okay, any other discussion?
Okay, the chair and vice chair will remain the same.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on to the next item, governing board handbook.
That's
Bridget.
CSD also requested the establishment of a formal rotation for the election of officers to provide structured opportunities for member agencies to serve in governing board leadership roles. If the governing board directs staff to modify the governing board handbook to establish that formal rotation, staff will return with proposed revisions addressing implementation details. So at this time, staff needs direction from the board on what they would like to see.
Okay, thank you. Board questions? No? Public comment?
My throat hurts.
Okay. All right. So we have no board discussion, no public comment.
We just need the board to provide some kind of direction if that's something that you would like to see or not.
It's just point of order. I don't understand the action on this. What is it? What is the action you're asking from the board?
Do you want to
Because
call
it-
rotation?
No, I understand. It is, let me try to be clear. Is the action to change the handbook now, or is the action to bring it back for discussion sometime in the future?
The action is for staff, if the board chooses to do a formal rotation, for us to propose changes at the next meeting or the May meeting for the board to consider and vote on.
It's clear now. Thank you.
Any other discussion?
So do you need to give direction here or?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, you just need somebody to make a motion to.
There's no motion, it's
There's
just
no motion.
direction.
Okay.
We just need to know if each of you want a formal rotation or not, and for us to bring back proposed changes to the governing board handbook.
So do you want to do a straw vote and ask each one of us?
Sure, yeah.
No.
Andy,
No.
Larry,
Yes.
Andrew,
No.
John?
Yes.
No. So the direction would be to keep it the same.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
very much.
Okay, moving on to comments and announcements. David,
I have none.
thank you. Any governing board comments and announcements? No? Okay, I'm going to adjourn this meeting at 5:36. Thank you.